you there? Where'd she go? Oh well, Larry says there are actually 4 errors that can cause you to get hurt. Eyes not on task, mind not on task, line of fire, and balance, traction, grip. Let's see what Larry has to say about that.
When it comes to safety answers, Larry's your man. Ask Larry. Well, go right ahead. Ask Larry. Yeah, that's what I said. Ask Larry.
What is SafeStart?
SafeStart is, we call it an advanced safety awareness program or a situational awareness program, but basically it's just these 4 errors right here: eyes not on task, mind not on task, moving into or being in the line of fire, or somehow losing your balance, traction, or grip. Those 4 errors are involved in about 99% of all acute injuries.
What is a good way to explain how your eyes are on task?
Just watching what you're doing, or watching where your hands are. Not looking at the stairs as you're running down the stairs is an example of eyes not on task.
What is mind on task?
Mind not on task is when you're not thinking about what you're doing.
And line of fire, is that literally line of fire, or?
It is if you're in the military or whatever, like that's where it came from, like gun shooting in the line of fire. But what it means is you're in the path of the hazardous energy. So say for instance you were going to open a door, you know not to stand in front of it because you'll whack yourself with the door.
Yeah.
Pinch point, like putting your finger in a car door, hitting your hand with a hammer would be your hand is in the line of fire. Balance, traction, grip, obviously, falling down the stairs, falling off the monkey bars, things like that. If you were looking at SafeStart here, just running down the stairs, if you tripped and fell, obviously, losing your balance, traction, grip, right? You lost your balance, traction, and grip. Were you, I don't know if you can remember, do you remember, were you looking at what you were doing? Like, were you looking at the stairs?
Well, I was just looking at the catalog in the magazine, so I wasn't really paying attention. I knew the stairs by heart, but apparently I probably got caught up in too much in the magazine and probably just lost my
Were you actually looking at the magazine when you were running? Okay, so so then you got the eyes not on task, right? Mm-hmm. And were you thinking about running down the stairs?
No, I probably was just running and I didn't even know it.
Yeah, and you know what? The more of these errors you make, the more likely you are to get hurt, right?
Yeah. So remember, the 4 errors are eyes not on task, mind not on task, line of fire, and balance, traction, grip. Back to you, Marlene. Marlene, are you there?
I'm here. There's CJ. So, instead of telling people to be careful, we should remind them one of the 4 errors.
Eyes on path, Marlene.
Very good, Mom.
No, Marlene, eyes on path.
Oh, love you, Mom. Some people may think that all you have to do is keep your eyes on task, your mind on task, stay out of the line of fire, and don't lose your balance, traction, or grip. But there's more. Okay. Motor vehicle crashes are the leading causes of death for people ages 1 to 33.
Come on.
Hey, TJ.
What'd it do?
English, please, TJ. We're doing a safety video.
Well, we finna be late.
Did you just say we finna be late? English, please.
Okay, all right. Finna derives from the English term fixing, which means we're in preparation to do something. For example, I'm finna show you what's up with Sheila and Fred.
Don't you think you should turn your music down so you can focus on driving safely? If you drive without music, your mind may not be on task. Now you have double trouble. If your mind's off task while driving, then your eyes may not be on the road.
You talking to me is what's keeping my mind off task, Marlene.
TJ is serious about safety. In fact, he had a close call at graduation night. Check this out.
What's your SafeStart story? What's your SafeStart story? Tell your SafeStart story.
My SafeStart story took place on graduation night. And I know what y'all are thinking, graduation is partying and drinking, but actually no. My school had a party called Project Graduation, which was drug-free and alcohol-free, but it lasted till 6 a.m. The drive home was kind of long, and I guess I didn't realize what kind of danger I was doing to myself. I got home and I parked the car, you know, like I normally do. But when I came outside the next morning to get back in my car, I noticed something strange. I was parked about 5 or 6 feet from the curb. Now, the situation could have been a lot worse. If my mind was off task enough to park that far from the curb, I could have had an accident. I could have harmed somebody else's vehicle or even injured myself.
So TJ, did mom and dad tell you to keep your mind on task since you'd be tired?
Nah, they actually just told me to be careful.
Be careful. Jess, what does Larry have to say about that?
Well, how many times have mom and dad told us to be careful?
I lost count.
Did it work?
Obviously not.
Well, every parent says be careful, but carelessness isn't the reason why errors occur.
So what is it?
Well, when you commit an error, you're in one of the 4 states. Either you're rushing, frustrated, fatigued, or complacent. Let's ask Larry.
If you looked at the top of the card there, these 4 states here, rushing, frustration, fatigue, and complacency, those cause people to make mistakes. That, you know, you've made mistakes before when you're in a rush, you know, forget your lunch for school, stuff like that, right? Why did they make the mistakes? Because they were in one of these 4 states. So if you can teach them to recognize when they're in the 4 states before they make one of the errors, you've given them something they can do that's efficient, right? There's only 4 states you got to think about.
Yeah, well, if people are in the rush, they're worrying about getting to where they're going. They're not thinking about the, you know, the errors it can cause, like how
well, you're
you
right,
get hurt.
You're worried about being late for school, right, or something like that. So you're not necessarily, you know, you might not look both ways before you run across the street, or looking at the sidewalk to see if it was uneven or if there was something slippery that you could fall on, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You know, it'd be nice to say, well, okay, just don't rush, but you know, rushing is part of life, okay?
It's like when you're mad, you can't just automatically just stop being mad.
Exactly. But you can keep yourself from getting hurt just because you're mad, right? How about when you're tired? Do you think you can stop being tired for the rest of your life? Mm-mm. That'd be nice, but it's going to happen here and there. You don't sleep well, whatever, right? You know? So those are the first 3 states, and you can recognize when you're in one of those first 3 states. Complacency is much harder to recognize. People usually don't get hurt when they're scared of getting hurt because they're paying attention. Now, if you do bump, bang, or scrape into something, instead of saying, oh, you know, darn, I got to be more careful or something like that, what you want to do is you want to think about, okay, well, was it one of these first 3 states that I didn't recognize quickly enough and self-trigger on, you know, so I made one of those 4 errors, or is it more of a habit that still needs more work? You know, when you asked me before about the, you know, what's SafeStart, and I was saying, well, you know, these 4 states lead to these 4 errors. Well, if you kind of look at you and the falling down the stairs, you were rushing.
Yes, I was rushing.
Right. Okay. And were you, in terms of complacency here, like where you weren't scared, right? Running down the stairs, you've done it before.
Yeah, many times.
Bunches of time. Right. Okay.
My eyes were not on task because I was looking at the magazine instead of the stairs. Even though I usually look at the stairs when I'm going down.
Right.
My mind wasn't on task because I was just focusing on the magazine. I wasn't focusing on what could happen to me. The line of fire was a corner of the stair rail that I cut my leg on,
Right.
and I lost my balance on the stairs. So it's all of them.
Excellent, yeah, excellent. I think you're getting it.
When the grease flew on me, the error was line of fire and the state was rushing.
The error was mind not on task, and the state was complacency.
Eyes not super on task. They were on task, but not really well. I think I was complacent because I didn't think I could get hurt because I didn't think I could fall off the bed.
So, the 4 states, rushing, frustration, fatigue, and complacency lead to the 4 errors. Back to you.
Hey Jazz, what's with the news music?
I'm a reporter. Duh.
Oh, right.
You know, reporters do the news.
Well, excuse me.
You're excused. This is Jasmine reporting from Silver Lake Park. Back to you.
Here we are at the zoo where my sister Ashley works in the horticulture department. Let's check out what she does. It looks like Ashley does some of the same stuff you may do in your own garden. In what ways can she get hurt?
We interrupt this program to bring you this special report. This is Jasmine in the SafeStart newsroom, where we just learned that Ashley's friend and co-worker Katie actually got hurt during our SafeStart taping. Here's her story.
I was cutting off the branches and I went too fast and I accidentally got my finger because I was holding it.
So, it turns out that Katie's rushing led to my not on task and line of fire. Thanks for being a good sport, Katie. We now rejoin our program, already in progress.
Now it's your turn. Remember the story you told last time? Well, now tell your story and try to figure out the errors. Eyes not on task, mind not on task, line of fire, or balance, traction, grip. Then find the states: rushing, frustration, fatigue, or complacency. If you want, you can even log on to www.safestart-home.com to enter your story. If your story is selected, you can win some really cool prizes. Anybody of any age is eligible to win. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next module where you'll see how my grandmother tries to learn SafeStart terminology.
Oh, snap.
You'll see Jasmine learn a valuable SafeStart lesson when she accidentally knocks her drink over.
You just moved there without looking.
Plus, there's much more. See you then.
Got my eyes on task, mind on task, watching for the line of fire. I don't want to lose my balance, traction, or grip. Cause you know, baby, if you don't start, say we're bound to slip. Eyes on task, mind on task, line of fire, balance, traction, or grip. Eyes on task, mind on task, line of fire, balance, traction, or grip. But if you don't pay attention, baby, you're bound to slip. I got my eyes on task, I got my mind on task. I'm watching out for that line of fire. My balance, traction, and grip is my one desire. Eyes on task, mind on task, line of fire, balance, traction, and grip. Eyes on task, mind on task, line of fire, balance, traction, and grip. If you don't pay attention, baby, you're bound